Good morning. How are you guys today? This morning I'm a little chilly, but I have been talking to you guys this week about the science of your words, of my words, and our imagination. And those of you who missed the call last night with Dr. Nick, please hop on. The numbers are right above here, and you guys will really appreciate that. We've been talking specifically about the words and science and imagination, and how our words are actual thoughts and investments to the future. How many times we may have a fleeting thought or think about something or have a feeling about something, and that we just think maybe it goes off into never land. But every thought, every feeling, and every word that you speak has a frequency and a sound, and it brings a ripple effect and a creation, and it actually matters. It manifests. You're creating with your thoughts and your words. I'm going to give you some more scriptures here to back up what we've been talking about on this journey. By your words, which when we looked up the word, it actually means not just thought, but words. By your words and your thoughts, you shall be justified, and by your words, you shall be condemned. I shall be condemned. So we have to be super diligent and careful to guard this, and to guard this. It says that God will not be mocked. What a man soweth, in his words he shall also reap. And so again, over and over, the scriptures talk about what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're feeling. I want to look at Mark 11:24 today, because basically it says, whenever you pray, ask believing, and you shall receive it, because it shall be done. And if we're going to be thinking about things or feeling things or talking about things, why don't we use things that are positive creations? Because we're going to create one way or the other. Why don't we make it a positive creation? Why don't we manifest something beautiful and lovely? The scriptures actually say in Philippians 4:8, whatever is true, whatever is honest, whatever is a good report, what is virtuous, what is excellent, what is respected, what is wholesome, whatever brings peace. Continually center your mind and implant these things in your heart. Fix them. When I looked up fix, it means to tie yourself to those things. Think on these things. So get the mind of Christ and think of those things. Going back to Mark 11, if we're going to fill our mind and our heart and our feelings with things, like I said, why don't we choose to make them permanently positive? Why don't we exercise and practice positivity with every thought we have, with every word we speak, and with every feeling that we have? In Mark 11, again, it says, whenever you pray, ask believing that you have received it, and you shall receive it. Let's break that down and look into the actual origin of what's really written in the text here. Whenever you pray. Now, we've talked about the word pray several times. If you haven't seen my past videos on prayer, go back into the YouTube and check it out, because there's a lot of different ideas on what people think that prayer is. It can be a group gathering. It could be your thoughts. And many specific places I've seen in Scripture, the word pray actually means to be in union with God and to speak the word of what God would say. Meaning to be, if this is you full of God, God I am, God is my reality, and all the things of Him are in me. To be or not to be is when we have percentages of us that are less than, or we have split energy. This is full on God energy in us. In 2 Philippians 2:13, it says He's the energy in you that flows through you. As long as we remember and remind that He's fully in us, then we are to be in Him. We are in Him fully. And it says, so to pray can actually, one of the definitions means to be full of Him, to be in union, to be as one with Him, speaking the words of God. So when you pray, or when you're in union and speaking the things that He would say, ask, believing that you have received it. To believe means to be alive in it, to commit to it. Robert Stevens says the word commitment means to come it. believing that it's already here. To commit. So when you pray, when you're in union with God and you're speaking life and the word of what God would say, believing that you have received it, being alive in it as if it's happened, believe that you have committed to it and received it. That word receive means to accept that it's already attained, to lay hold of it, to remember that it's in you already, because God owns everything and he's in you. When you pray in union, ask believing, be alive in it, be committed to it energetically, physically, mentally, feeling-wise, imagination-wise, that you have received it, accepted it, laid hold of it, and it shall be yours. And so it does take some discipline. I'm telling you, when we exchange our ideas, our half full, and we become the full on who God is in us fully, every cell, all our blood, all our organs, all our thoughts, all our consciousness, that word actually means that we're going to get it. We're going to manifest it. We get to do it. Now, I'm going to give you a few more scriptures just to make sure you know what I'm talking about is actually in the Word. Isaiah 43:8, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they were forced out of my mouth. And then it showed up suddenly and came to pass. Kind of cool. Speaking those things that are not as though they are. In Proverbs 15:4, a whole tongue, meaning integrity, mind, body, spirit, the mind of Christ, the feelings of Christ, the words of Christ. A wholesome tongue is the tree of life. It brings life. Decree a thing and it shall be established is another scripture. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the assurance, the confirmation, the deed and the title. It means you have it. It's the assurance. It's happened of the things we hope for, being the proof of the thing we do not see, but the confidence of the reality that it's here. That word reality means faith, perceiving as fact, believing it's already happened, and seeing and feeling, well, what's new and different now that this has already happened? And so how do we do this? How is it that we, if something's not manifesting yet, and everything around us shows evidence that it's not happened yet, what is it? What can we do to believe and be alive in it? We talked a little bit about this last night, hanging around people who do believe and who are already there. There's an energy there. There's a frequency. There's a transferable frequency there. Practicing, decreeing, changing your mind, and remembering and reminding and reprogramming. Because here's the thing, in Proverbs 29:8, it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. We must imagine and see, image a nation, tend to, as if it's happening, already happened. And when we have the feeling that it's already happened, and when our brain recognizes it's already happened, your limbic system right here cannot tell the difference between imagination and it already happened. And so if your imagination is saying, oh, it happened, and you accept it and you occupy that, the scripture says, occupy until I come. We are told and commanded to occupy all of this, to take dominion and to remember, but it has to start in here first. We must occupy it here and here and here first. And again, Philippians 4:8 says what is true, what is honest, what is wholesome, what anything that God would think. Fix your mind on these things, implant them in your heart, take them on. And in 4:19 it says, my God will liberally supply, fill to the fullness all of your needs according to his riches. I don't know about you, my God is provision, and God is provision in me. And so it takes, again, you guarding your heart. That scripture that talks about having diligence, it says above all else. That's pretty steep. Above all else, guard and keep your heart with diligence. For everything you do flows from it, not to it. It's not a defense where you're protecting yourself from the boogie, mojo, whatever weird vibes out there. It's He's telling you, because of science and because of the law of attraction, which is just as significant as gravity, what you think will come back to you. What you feel will come back to you. What you speak will come back to you. What you sow comes back to you. God will not be mocked. Everything you speak comes back. Every thought you think manifests and shows up at your doorstep. It's an investment for your creation, one way or another. Every word, every thought is an investment that sows into something, and your harvest will come to you, whatever that is. So be diligent. Guard your heart with diligence. Guard your mind and your mouth with diligence. And as you guard those things, it's not because something's going to get you from the outside. Yes, it will, but only because you had an inside job first. If you're thinking negative and you're perceiving that people don't like you, guess what? People will not like you. If you perceive or have fear that something terrible is going to happen, guess what? It comes back to you. You'll be right. It's true. But because of law of attraction, if your thoughts and your mind and your words are everything happens to me awesome, all things happen according to God who loves me, and I love God. Miracles show up at my doorstep every day. I am love, and my love stays. I ignite God in everyone I contact. I ignite miracles in everything and everyone I touch. I ignite peace, love, and the Christed love in my world right now. I ignite truth and revelation in my world right now. I ignite divine health in everyone I contact. If those are your truths, if those are your thoughts, if those are your words, and you are alive in it, you believe in it, then you will receive it, and those things come back to you. And you will start seeing a new manifestation in your world because you created it. You're creating your world anyway right now. Why not make it completely, totally in the mindset of what God would choose instead of what our half-human, our human thoughts and minds would think. It's time for us to believe and to feel and speak like God. God inside of us. God fully to be and is. I am that I am fully in us now. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you guys can grasp this, because a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Double-minded meaning two inside. You know, we get that picture of the devil on one side and the angel on the other. Forget all that. God in you is full on. Have the mind of Christ. Believe what he believes. And do it diligently, with vigilance. Fix your mind and your imagination on those things. And the outcome of it already happened. Now that it's already happened, what's new and different for you? Now that you got the phone call of so-and-so saying all the things that you hoped that they would say to you, what's new and different for you? Now that you got the title in the mail of your mortgage already being paid, what's new and different for you? Now that you are your divine partner and you are in an amazing, awesome relationship, what's new and different for you? Now that you are divine health and you are continually fixed in divine permanent health, what's new and different for you? What are you doing? What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are people saying to you? What are you saying to people? Imagine those things. Be alive on those things. Let that be your imagination. Let that be your mindset. And when you pray, meaning when you're in union with God, believing and being alive in those things, you shall receive those things. I'm telling you, watch it happen. Report your miracles to me. I love you. Vote my victory. I'm headed out to North Carolina in the morning. And I'm looking forward to a great weekend over there. I'm sure it's going to be cold. It's supposed to be 33. And I'm just going to decree right now at 72 in North Carolina. I'm wearing flip-flops in North Carolina. Let's put our energy towards that, all right? I love you guys. Follow me. Share this. Go to my YouTube and see the ones previous to this so it makes all the more sense for you. I will see you somewhere on the road. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I'll be in Orange Beach. I'm going to be in Seattle. I'm going to be in California. I'm going to be in Canada. Definitely look on my Facebook. April 7th is the first place that I will be speaking in Seattle. For details to come, all right? I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.